So we're going to start this project out with some spray paint that I got at Walmart. It is a lime green color, and we're going to cover our evergreen wreath that I got at Hobby Lobby with this spray paint because we want it to look a little bit more Grinchy and not the darker green. The wreath form is half off at Hobby Lobby, so this was like $4.50 or $5, I can't remember. It is a pretty good size. Once I have that all finished and dried, we're going to bring that on in, and then I have these picks and signs that I got at Walmart. I'm going to remove the backing of these plant sticks. This is a pretty heavy duty wire, so I tried to use my wire cutters. That didn't work, but what did work was bending it back and forth. It actually just pops off. You just have to be really careful because the scarf and the little bottom part of the Grinch's head is not really secure like the top of him. So when you're moving it back and forth or trying to pop it off, just be super careful. So once we have those all removed, I also removed the little ribbons that were on the signs. They are just attached in the back like a shoelace back there with little holes, like a gift bag, I guess is better example. But we're just going to take the plastic piece and shove it through the hole and remove these ribbons. I'm going to save these ribbons for another project. I also picked up these bulbs at the DI the last time I was in Utah, and it was 2 packages for $2. These did come from Hobby Lobby, so if you're looking for this exact color, you could probably find them still at Hobby Lobby half off. Then I took these out of the package, and one of the packages was missing one of the bulbs, so we're going to use that package for this wreath. And it looked like they already had hangers. I'm going to remove those hangers from them, and we're going to use some floral wire that I got at Dollar Tree to attach to these bulbs. I also attached floral wire to the back of each sign and to the back of the picks. Now I'm going to save you guys a little bit of trouble and heartache that I went through for this wreath. The floral wire ends up not being super heavy duty, which is not a surprise. But what I found was it kept popping off of the metal pieces. So I actually recommend a pipe cleaner for this. I just didn't really want to use a pipe cleaner. You could also use a zip tie here, but I was trying to make everything removable from this wreath in case I wanted to at some point remove it and use it for something else. I did go ahead and continue to assemble the rest of the wreath with floral wire. I'm not giving this away or selling it or anything, so I was really okay with the idea that something might pop off. I could just fix it real quick. But if you are going to give this as a gift, or you're going to sell it, or you just want a more sturdier project, definitely probably a pipe cleaner or some more heavy duty wire. We're going to go ahead and attach all the signs and the bulbs onto our wreath. I also got these cute picks at Hobby Lobby. They have a whole aisle of Grinch stuff, so if you haven't been there in a while, I highly suggest you go check it out if you are into the Grinch decorating. I'll show you right here what the aisle looks like. All kinds of goodies. Definitely recommend going there. So once we have our picks in, I kind of thought, okay, this might be the end, but I decided it was still missing something. I also picked up this garland at Hobby Lobby. It's like a bulb garland over in the Grinch aisle, and I thought it was super cute. So we're going to go ahead and attach these onto the wreath as well. I did cut the garland and remove the little pom-pom parts. There are 2 holes there, so my husband helped me out and he threaded the wire into those 2 holes so I could also just attach these pieces onto the wreath with floral wire. Once I got that all done, I thought possibly this wreath was going to be finished, but I debated back and forth between a bow, and I just finally decided it needed a bow. And I had actually bought this ribbon at Hobby Lobby with the intent of using it for this video, so I decided I should use it because it's very Grinchy. So I just made a simple bow by folding it over, tying it off with some twine, and then we're just going to add a piece of wire to the back of it. That way I can use that wire to attach it to the wreath form. Once I get it attached to the wreath form, I decided to go ahead and add another one of those little pom-pom balls to the middle of our bow. I did dovetail the ends as well to our ribbon just to give it a little bit more high-end look. And here is the final look of our wreath. I love it. I'm going to definitely keep this one like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, but yeah, I love how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think about this wreath. So recently I was watching YouTube videos and I came across a Grinch video that was put out by the Farmer and the Southern Belle, and it was a super cute video about her decorating her kids' room with some Grinch items. In the video she created something similar to this, and so I will link her Grinch video down in my description box along with the free printable that goes with this project. So I picked up this frame at Dollar Tree. It's a document frame which will hold a piece of paper, like a printer paper, exactly right, so it's best to pick up that. Now this frame does not have an easel, so if you're looking for something that you can like stand up on a nightstand, my go-to is always just easels, and I put my pictures in the easels, or any kind of sign really. I like to put them in easels rather than hanging them on the wall. But if you don't like that, you're going to need a frame that has an easel. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this frame with this green paint that I got at Walmart, and it takes about 3 coats to go over this whole frame and get good coverage. So once I have it totally covered with our green paint, we're going to go ahead and take the free printable and we're just going to put it into the frame. Once we have it into the frame, we're going to go ahead and put our glass back in. And I went ahead and made sure that I cleaned both the front and the back of the glass. Once we have it in, I'm going to take a dry erase marker and I'm just going to write how many days there are left till Christmas. And yes, I counted. There are 73 days from the time I made this video until Christmas. So once I have that all completed, I decided this really needs a little something up in the left-hand corner. So I decided to add a bow. I just made a simple bow where I crossed over the ribbons and I used some twine to tie it off in the middle. Once I had that tied off, I did go ahead and dovetail the ends of the ribbon, and then we're going to take some hot glue, glue it up in the top left-hand corner. I always seem to go to the left. I don't know if that's because I'm left-handed, but you can always put it in the right corner if you would like, but I like in the left for definitely this project because there's some empty space. I also took a heart button. We're going to glue the heart button right into the middle of the bow, and that is it for this project. It's adorable. Definitely plan on using it this year out in my Christmas decor. Let me know what you guys think of this one. So I saw this red G when I was at Walmart in the Christmas area, and I thought, this says Grinch to me. So I went ahead and picked up this ornament, and then I had to go to Hobby Lobby to find my yarn because Walmart did not have any lime green yarn, and so I did find it at Hobby Lobby. I went ahead and picked it up. This is a very large thing of yarn, so I better find some other uses for it so I don't waste my money. But we're gonna wrap our G around like with this lime green yarn. And this is a little bit time consuming, so I just suggest putting on a TV show or a book or something like that as you wrap it around. At the beginning I was struggling a little bit on getting it through the G, but then I finally got a groove and I just was rolling like a twirling. Now you're going to want to start out with some glue at the beginning, and then you don't have to put glue, just maybe 1 or 2 other places as you go around the ornament. Now I did leave the ends open on purpose, so if you're wondering like, oh my gosh, what's she doing, I do have a purpose for that. But once we get all the way around like the curved part, then you're gonna go a different direction for the like part that makes the G, and you're going to want to go lengthwise just because it's longer that way and it'll be easier to wrap around, and then you'll cover the small section by itself. So once you have all the yarn on, you're going to take some neon green boa or some feathers. I got mine at Hobby Lobby. I'll link you an option from Amazon down in my description box. They do have this weird looking I don't even know what it is, like it looks like a boa, but it's not. It's like a garland at Walmart in the Grinch section. I didn't think it was that cute, but you could cut off pieces from that as well and do the same thing. So if you can't find the boa or something like that, Walmart does have an option that there are some things with fur. So you're going to cut off the fur, and then you're going to be gluing the fur to the open areas. So word to the wise with this boa, I had my ceiling fan on while I was completing this project, and I kid you not, there were just pieces of this boa flying all over my craft room. It was quite comical. My cat was chasing it, caught it a couple times. He thought it was a blast. The dog joined in, so it was definitely a family affair. So if you're cutting this, just know ahead of time it is a little bit messy, a little bit like cutting those mop thingies from Dollar Tree. If you know, you know. But anyway, once we got that all cut and glued on, I did give it a good trim because the parts of it were a little bit longer than others, but I think this is kind of unique and very cute. Let me know what you guys think about this one. This one is another super simple project. I had this frame on hand from the Dollar Tree. It's one of these square ones, and I had used it in another project, but they still sell them, and they are in the everyday crafting area. So all we're gonna do is remove the inside and trace around the cardboard piece that goes in, just so that we have a piece of white paper to insert it. And I want it to be white just because we're using a window cling here. So I got this window cling at Walmart, and it was $1.98. It's super cute. It has Max and the Grinch. I only had one of these square frames, but I think I'm gonna go pick up another square frame so I can do Max as well. I think they'd be really cute kind of side by side, or if you're putting them on a shelf, like one end of the shelf and then the other end, but they're really cute. So I'm just gonna remove the window cling section, and because this is a frame and it is glass, we're just going to attach it to the front of our frame just like we would a window. So there's no Mod Podge involved in this. Super easy, and it sticks great, like I said, because it's glass. I did clean the inside and outside of the glass, that way it was super clean when I attached my window cling. His hat is a little too big for the frame, so I just kind of cut off a little section on each side, and that is it for this super simple project. And I think I really love this one. It's really cute, like him peeking up, and I don't know, I just really like it. Let me know what you guys think about this one. So we're on to another ornament, and I just tried to come up with like some unique ways to create some Grinch projects that I hadn't seen before. So I'm taking one of these wood blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cover it with some white acrylic paint. I gave it a couple coats. My brush did have a little bit of water in it, so you might only need about one coat, but since mine was kind of watered down, I went ahead and did 2 coats. I have these stencils that I got from Amazon, and I'll link them down in my description box. They come in a pretty big set, and they have a wide variety. We're just going to use the Grinch part out of this belief, because we're going to attach him onto the wooden block as an ornament. So I'm using that lime green paint again from Walmart. We're just going to stencil him on with our stencil brush from the Dollar Tree. And then off camera, I took my stencil brush and kind of used my thumb like a toothbrush, and I gave it some speckles onto the whole thing after I had stenciled it. That's optional. Some people use a toothbrush. I didn't have a toothbrush on hand, so I just thought I'd use the leftover paint on my paintbrush. Once that is dry, I'm going to take another heart button and I'm going to glue it to the Grinch. I had somebody tell me one time that they don't like unfinished buttons, that they like there to be like yarn in the middle. And I think about it every single time I attach a button to something. Let me know if that's a pet peeve of yours down in the comments. I did not have a needle on hand, so I could not put any yarn in the holes here, but I can't remember who had left me the comment, but if you're still watching my videos, know that I think about you every single time I put these buttons on, and I will be getting myself a needle. But you guys let me know down below if that's a pet peeve of yours. So once we have that glued on, we're just going to make a messy bow. I know some people don't like messy bows. If that is you, make the bow that you would like to put at the top. I did go ahead and glue it kind of where the hanger is, but I did put it sideways, that way you could see all of the Grinch's head. And that is it for this project. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I think he's pretty adorable. So Hobby Lobby had these banners, and because Hobby Lobby's Christmas is half off, it was $1. I have never made a project with a banner before. I know the Dollar Tree used to sell these, but I had never made a project before. I thought I'd make a project this time. But we're going to go ahead and use another one of these stencils. This is a round stencil, so you could actually make a wood round with this one, but I just wanted the Grinch's head to go in the middle of our banner. So I kind of line up his pointy chin with the pointy part of the banner, and then I'm just using some painter's tape to tape it to the banner to be held still. I kind of ran out of painter's tape, so I was kind of using it sparingly. I'll have to go pick some up. So once I get that tape down, we're just going to go ahead and start painting with our red paint. We're going to go over his whole hat. Now my red paint is chalk paint, folk art chalk paint, but his face is going to be our green acrylic paint that we've been using. And we're just going to go ahead stencil over the whole thing. I just like the stencil brushes from Dollar Tree. I kind of feel like they work just as good as some of the more expensive ones. You just have to remember that stenciling is something you have to be patient at. The best advice I can give you for stenciling is not very much paint in your brush. If you can remember that, you will definitely have better looking projects than if you have too much paint. It tends to bleed through. So once we've done the hat and his face, we're going to go ahead and remove the stencil. Once I have the stencil out, I decide to use a black paint pen to go around the little outline of the white parts of the Santa hat, because I wanted it to be noticeable. So once I have gone through those parts in the stencil, I take the stencil out, and then I'm going to go ahead and outline our whole Grinch's hat and face, just to give him a little bit more dimension. I really like how this pops out and just looks so much better after using the paint pen. So once we have that all done, I decide to go ahead and create another ribbon. We're just doing, again, another simple bow, folding it over and tying it off in the middle. Once we have it tied off, and this time instead of using twine, I use another type of ribbon. That is usually how I make messy bows, and in this case it's just cutting it off so that you get a different contrast color in the middle. We're going to go ahead and glue this guy up at the top of our Grinch's head, and I did go ahead and dovetail the ends of this one as well. Once we get him glued up at the top, we're going to go ahead and add a few little polka dots on his face. I noticed in a picture of him that he kind of had some of those on his face, and so I wanted to make sure to replicate that on our banner. After I get those on, that is it for this project. He's adorable. I actually like how the banner turned out. Let me know what you guys think. Well friends, we made it to the end of the video. Super fun crafting with you guys and making Grinch projects. If you want to keep on crafting and you're totally still into the Grinch, check out this video. And if you just want to check out general Christmas crafts, you can check out the video below that. As always, wherever you are in your journey is a perfect place to start, and I will see you in my next video. Bye friends!